Hey, it's Mike with Tech PV, and today what we're going to do is try to dispel some of these myths between the Vice and the Protege. It seems like Vice owners think their guns have magical powers, and Protege owners are wondering why their gun doesn't have magical powers. Okay, so let's go through and let's talk really quickly about the Protege and the Vice and what one comes with that the other one doesn't come with, and let's just go through all of that. Okay, first things first, let's start with the Protege. Okay, these guns right now retail $550. Now I put a clamping feed neck on mine. It's a good upgrade. Bob-long clamping feed neck I put on mine. If you pick up a Protege, it's probably about the only upgrade I would suggest you get if you wanted to get one. The standard collar feed neck works great. But the Protege, solid gun, $550. Smokes the E-Tech, okay? It's lighter than the E-Tech. It's more efficient than the E-Tech. It's quieter than the E-Tech. The trigger's better than the E-Tech. The Protege smokes the E-Tech, okay? So for $550, this gun is solid. Okay, the Protege comes with just the regular Marq trigger, and I'll tell you the difference between the Marq and the S-Class here in a few minutes. Comes with the standard collar feed neck, which you can easily upgrade to the clamping feed neck if you want. Milling is a little bit plain on it. Nothing really too crazy with the milling, but it's a solid gun. Comes with the Marq regulator, regular LPR. Comes with just the standard bolt. You know, it just looks like just any other bolt that comes with any of the open bolt guns. You know, solid gun. Okay, so now let's talk about the Vice. Okay, Vice is basically Bob's top of the line, you know, Generation 5 Intimidator. Comes with a Tadao board, which is pretty much the biggest difference between the Tadao and the standard Bob Long board is the Tadao comes with a plug for RF transmitter. So if you have one of those boards in your loader that you want to sync with your board, comes with it already on there. Something else that comes with it is an S-Class trigger. Okay, the S-Class trigger looks just like the standard Marq trigger, but the S-Class trigger is all milled out and hollow out. It's very light. I'd probably say it's just as light as a carbon fiber. It's an extremely lightweight trigger. Something else too, it comes stock with a lever locking feed neck, and you will see that the feed neck on the Vice is just slightly lower, on maybe 5 to 6 millimeters, slightly lower than the Protege. So it is a little bit of a lower feed neck, not by much, just slightly lower. And probably the biggest thing that sets the Vice apart from the Protege is the milling. The milling on the Vice is absolutely gorgeous. I mean, this thing looks like it's just liquid metal. Great job on the milling here. It just looks absolutely seamless from one end to the other. Very narrow in the back of the gun. Awesome milling. And let's talk about the bolt. Okay, this is the new Bob Long pillow bolt. Okay, now you know pillow bolts. I mean, if you're shooting absolutely brittle paint that's been in the refrigerator, okay, you know, I can see the argument for the pillow bolt. I mean, pillow bolts, they work great. I haven't seen really, I mean, I'm in Florida where it's warm for most of the year, so I haven't seen that much of a difference using the pillow bolt versus the non-pillow bolt. I inspect my paint. My loaders are set on the same setting. I don't break paint anyway, so I haven't really seen the true benefits of using a pillow bolt. The Vice has got it in there, great. I know my Marq has it in there, and I haven't broken a ball in probably 100 cases. So, you know, pillow bolt, or not pillow bolt. I mean, unless you're getting a lot of breaks, then maybe looking at investing in one. But, okay, now let's talk. There's a lot of talk about the ram and the ram sleeve between the two. Okay, the Vice has a slightly different ram sleeve, but I'm going to show you that the rams that are inside the gun are exactly the same. Let's pull out the Protege. Just going to leave the bolts out for right now. Okay, there's the Protege ram. And let's pull out the Vice ram. Now I believe the sleeves are slightly different, but the rams are exactly the same. Okay. Now what I'll do here is I'll show you. We'll go ahead and turn on my scale. What we'll do is we'll put the Vice ram, 1.2 ounces. Press hold. 1.2 ounces. Now let's take a look at the Protege ram. Press hold. Also, 1.2 ounces, okay? The rams for both of the guns are exactly the same. It's the exact same ram in both of the guns. I know it seems like there's been a fight over which ram goes into which gun, and no, it's the exact same ram. Now what we'll do to dispel the biggest myth of all of them is how much different the vise, or how much lighter the vise is versus the Protege. Okay, pillow bolt going into the vise. Okay, let's do this. Okay, here we go. Protege first, 0-0. Protege weighs in at 1 pound, 14.2 ounces. Okay, hopefully you can see that. 1 pound, 14.2 ounces for the Protege. Now let's take a look at the vise. £1 pound, 13.4 ounces for the vise. Okay, so we're looking at probably just less than 1 ounce of weight between the two. And just to show you, because I do get these paranoid kids on the internet, well, one has battery and one doesn't. No, it doesn't. Okay, hopefully you can see that. That's the vise. Turns on. It's got a battery in it. There's the Protege. Turns on. It's got a battery in it. So those are pretty much the difference between the two, okay? If you've got the extra money and you want a ridiculous gun, get the vise. Okay, if you got an extra $200 burning a hole in your pocket, okay, the vise, $750. Shoots phenomenal. It comes with all the bells and whistles. It's a totally loaded gun. Okay, looking for a gun, probably the best bang for your buck right now on the market, Protege. Phenomenal gun, $550. Shoots amazing. Both of them are very, very smooth. I've shot them both. I can't tell really the difference between the two mechanically when I'm out there shooting. One doesn't have more kick than the other. One doesn't feel or sound any different than the other. The only difference is the vise just happens to be Bob's top of the line Generation 5 Intimidator. They're both gorgeous guns. I would take a Protege to a PSP tournament any day of the week. I would take a vise to a PSP tournament any day of the week. Vise is a phenomenal gun. The Protege is also a phenomenal gun. But you know what? Some people like to pay for a little more bells and whistles. Go for the vise. If you're looking for a good, solid gun, good bang for your buck, $550, get the Protege. You can't lose with either one of these guns. They're both absolutely phenomenal. Hope this helps.